Wait a second. This isn't a Ninja Gaiden speedrun. This is something to do with card slides. What is up, folks? Welcome back to Ever So Slight. Jorge and Ito here. Thanks for stopping by, and once again, welcome back. Welcome back to the third installment of Random Cool. If you don't know what that is, it's just 5 tips, tricks, convincers, slights, what have you, in and of themselves may or may not merit entire videos, but 5 of them together in a compilation video. Hey, that's why we're here today. Trick or treat, by the way. Happy Halloween. It's October 31st, so everybody out there who's doing stuff, parties, hanging out, be safe, be careful, have fun, eat candy. So without any further ado, let's get into episode 3 of Random Cool. Coming in at number 5 is a false cut, the broken runner. And basically a double undercut on the table. I'm not the biggest fan of the double undercut, but on the table it looks really good. I'll show you real quick what it looks like. 6 of hearts on top. We'll give the deck a couple cuts. Losing the 6 of hearts somewhere in the deck. We all know it's on top. This is actually really easy to do, and I think it looks really nice as a tabled false cut. So let's get into it. You'll strip about a third of the bottom of the deck, and you'll just come up, and I like to kind of slap it. But starting out, you'll just do that. You're maintaining a break, obviously. You're repeating the first step for the second one, taking another third of the packet from the bottom and placing it on top. You don't have to worry about a second break, right? Because it's just going back in order at that point. And you are completing by taking the remaining cards, which is everything under the break, and then placing them on top. And that completes the false cut. We'll get a better angle. Okay, so we have our trusty 6 of hearts on top. And you'll just grab the entire deck with your left hand. Strip away about a third. Come up like so. The second step is to do the same thing. Take another third from the bottom, place it on top. And repeat the third step. Or repeat those steps for the third. And that right there is the broken runner. I'll show you what it looks like in real time. Coming in at number 4 is the Juan Tamariz perpendicular control. It looks a little something like this. I have to be honest, there are limited things that I use this for. So one of the things being Spread and Butter, which is a routine by Chris Ramsey. I wish he would name that something, anything other than that. I also use this for a very specific gaff card that comes in the Black Roses Supporter Edition playing cards. But you can use this as far as a table spread. You could go into a table spread and everything is going to be hidden. And you may find some uses for it. Like I said, very limited with me. It's pretty easy. You just place the card in like so. You're pushing it in at an angle at this corner to where this corner protrudes out here by the pinky. You're going to fill it with your pinky. You take your thumb and you just kind of kick it out sideways in a perpendicular fashion. From here, like I said, you could do all manner of things. Maybe I want to spread the cards out like so. Right? That's kind of what I do with that Black Roses gaff card. It's a whole routine. But anyway, there you have it. Coming in at number 3 are a few tips, actually, pertaining to one of my all-time favorite color changes, the Erdnase color change. You know, this is a simple color change, but this can be really super magical if it's done, I guess, a certain way, or, you know, if you approach it a certain way, I guess. Typically, whenever we see people do this, you know, they have the double, they'll push the card up like so, steal the card away, right? And then they'll push everything flush. The reason I don't like that is because why are you pushing this card forward? And why is everything flush again? It just seems to me, yeah, maybe it'll fly by a few spectators, but I'm just not a fan of that at all. So I'm going to offer 2 tips. One of them being, I like to do this Stuart Gordon placement, which I taught in a previous episode of Random Cool. But anyway, you're essentially starting in an out jog position. You don't have to do it like that. So the idea is, if you're going to do this, which is essentially starting in an out jog position, then it should end in an out jogged position, right? The same thing, if I start in a flush position, it should end in a flush position. And that's just as simple as, let's discuss the out jogged one first. Now, you can push this card forward, but like I said, once the card is stolen, leave everything here, right? Now, the cool thing is when you enact the change, you have this cool visual, like, you know, this card is very clearly braced in between your fingers. Like, it just seems like it adds an aspect of or a level of impossibility. So if you start from a flush position, it's a little different because you're not pushing it forward. It's not visible, at least to the spectator. What I like to do is, some people don't care for this, but I'll cover the card very briefly, and under the cover of my hand, I'll use my index finger to actually kick the cards back, right? And I'll steal this card away real quick. And before they can even see that anything's out jogged, I'm literally pushing everything flush. It looks like nothing has even moved at all. So I'll just show you right here. I like to kind of come back this way and reveal this empty space up here, right? And I'm just kind of gliding on my fingertips on this hand, right? And then I just come, deposit the card. All right, coming in at number 2. Actually, these last 2 entries are probably the 2 most difficult in this installment of Random Cool. This is the Erdnase Reversal, aka Erdnase 1 card half pass, and it looks like this. This was taught in By Forces Unseen. Essentially, you're just controlling a card to the top, right? And in the action of turning the deck over, you're reversing that card on top. Now, what Mr. Earick does is he gets this ready for like a snap change, right? Where he does something like that. So, but there are all kind of uses for a reversed card. What you're doing is, once the card is on top, you're getting an Erdnase break, which is just taking the pip corner index into the pinky finger, and you're just maintaining a pinky break essentially up there at that corner. It's important that the cards are held in straddle grip, because this pinky is going to act kind of like a pivot point in a way. A crude pivot point for me because I have small hands. But what's happening basically is you're just turning the deck over on top of the single card, right? So in the action of just turning the cards over like this card should be reversed. I know I flashed there. But so to get into this, you'll have the card in Erdnase grip, and just like you're just holding the cards, right? Now when you go to do this action, that's when the rotation starts. And really, in a way, the card is just kind of maintaining a stationary position, right? And you're just rotating the deck on top of it. If you're having issues with this pinky break, sometimes I'll I'll just push the entire corner of this deck into this pinky ring finger crotch, right? And when I go into the turn, I'll just kind of push this top card over and go into it. Now, whenever you start this, you have to wrist kill. You have to kind of veer to the right. And so I'm taking this, veering to the right, and exposed view. Just like that. The card should end like this. From here, you could cut the cards, whatever, but you're going to have a reversed card now in the deck. Coming in at number 1 is essentially a way to cut to the aces or any card you desire in a dead cut. This is very difficult, but I think it's the coolest thing in the world, and that is the lateral bottom deal. This is not a bottom deal in the fashion which we would normally think of a bottom deal, right? This is dealing the top card. You're literally dealing the top card off, but where the package turned over, it is a bottom deal, essentially. It's mimicking a dead cut. You're cutting to any card, right? So you'll cut the pack, and it looks like that. You could do a dead cut routine where you're cutting to the aces. Essentially, you know, your card or multiple cards, they're on top. Let me go ahead and say that this move is by Tom Gagnon, published 2011, Avant Cards. This man is absolutely brilliant, underground legend. But what you're doing is coming in to cut the cards, right? You're just coming in to pick up the cards, and that's all that the spectator sees. But when you're coming in for the cut, you're using your left index finger to just push outward on this corner. What happens is that pops that card up. We're going to get a better angle to where you have a break. Now when I cut the deck right here, so I have this card, you know, in a break, and when I flip the cards over, I loosen that card on the break as if I'm cutting right to it. So when you're coming in to grip the cards, you're gripping with everything except the index in kind of a loose fashion, and you're taking your index finger and pushing outward on this corner. That way you could pop this card up. From here you can go into a break, or a cut rather, break. Now in the action of turning this packet over, that's when I kind of loosen my grip on that card, let it fall out from underneath everything, and that's it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this installment of Random Cool. Let me know in the comments what you think. Some of these moves, are they of any value or merit to you? Do you know them already? Maybe you could think of some cool uses. Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate any and all feedback. Happy to have a conversation and answer any and all comments. I appreciate your support. Leave a like, please. Subscribe. Dislike. If you just really don't care for the video, that's fine too. But I really do appreciate all of you guys. Again, happy Halloween. Be safe. Jorge and Ito. Peace. Wow. Oh boy.